Hi there, everyone. In the end, it did happen. Bitcoin just had its world's largest weekly candle close ever. Do you remember what I said on X? For the people in the back, I'm going to say it louder. We're not optimistic enough. Seriously, I've been telling you guys for weeks that crypto is going up. There is no doubt that Bitcoin will reach a new all-time high. Also, I know some of you are interested in altcoins right now. Don't worry, we'll also take care of that. But first, we need to talk about what Tom Lee said, which is very important. These are the things that will cause altcoins like XRP to reach really high prices. Let's start with Bitcoin. We're talking about the best weekly close ever, people. That week's candle set a new all-time high of $125,559 for us. We're doing pretty well right now at about $123,000, or almost $124,000. Plus, it's really beautiful to watch. Do I think this is just a Bitcoin show now? Do I think altcoins will do nothing? Not at all. The time for altcoins to join is coming. They always do. It has happened every single time crypto has been around. But now it's important to note, Bitcoin keeps going up. When it does, the whole area has more money flowing through it. Look at this. It's now the lowest it's been on markets in 6 years. This is true. It comes from Altcoin Daily. That's crazy when you look at it. We are actually seeing a huge supply squeeze happen with Bitcoin. Actually, this is a lot like what happened with Ethereum during the short squeeze. The only difference is that supply is now going up instead of down. To get to the point, we're seeing a squeeze happen right now. This could make Bitcoin reach $150,000 a lot faster than most people think. This is something we've talked about before, and the market just hit $4.22 trillion again. The chart is about to reach its all-time highs. What you're seeing is really, really strong. There are greens everywhere right now. The fear and greed measure is at a level of 59. We're now in a neutral area. This season for altcoins gets about 61 out of 100. You might be wondering why altcoins aren't going up in value more. This is why. Right now, Bitcoin is becoming more popular, which will help this big push. We've already talked about this in other films. Here's a really cool thing. Bitcoin just hit a new all-time high and had its best weekly close ever. But searches for Bitcoin on Google Trends are still pretty flat. Allow me to explain. When people searched for Bitcoin the most, it was in May 2021. There were more searches in January 2021 than at any other time since. What does this tell me? BTC has a lot more room to grow. Small buyers don't seem to care much about Bitcoin at the moment. A lot of crypto searches are the same way. They're very, very cheap. Yes, it went up to about 94 in August, but that's still less than 2021. And searches for crypto to buy now have stopped working totally. We only really saw things happen in December of last year, when the market had that nice pump. It wasn't really crazy, but it was fine. All of this tells me that big retail involvement isn't here yet. Altcoins to buy now was the only search term I found with a big jump. That's when things start to get interesting. That might make you wonder if it means it's alt season now. Not even close. There will be a lot of crazy altcoin prices all over the place during alt season. Allow me to explain. Take a look at these gains for the last 30 days for the top 500 altcoins. In fact, look at how few gains there are. It's not alt season at all except for a few coins that just came out. In fact, over the last 30 days, most of the top 500 altcoins have lost value. Let's take a moment to talk about Ethereum. When the market finished for the week, Bitcoin made history. But Ethereum still hasn't broken above its all-time highs from 2021 and closed above them. Yes, we did touch a new all-time high before the end of August and July, but we never closed above it. That needs to close above the all-time highs. In a moment, I'll tell you why this is so important for altcoins. The charts for XRP and most other altcoins are pretty flat right now. They aren't doing much since Bitcoin is making history. Everyone is looking at it. That's the main point of attention. Now though, things get really interesting. Let's talk briefly about stocks. I was interested in something Ryan Dietrich did on X. This October saw a new high for the S&P 500. More than 90% of the time, the fourth quarter goes up after this. Take a look at that. Stock prices are definitely going to keep going up. But here's what I think. Stocks are going to get dull soon. I believe that stocks will begin to group together. And when that happens, small investors will go somewhere else to find interest. There, attention will be drawn to places that are moving and not boring. I think that regular people are about to put a lot of money back into crypto since Bitcoin has reached new highs. A huge flow of capital is what we're talking about. Where do stocks end up at the end of the year? Tom Lee has some things to say about this. He said that based on past events, the S&P 500 is likely to reach 7,000 by the end of the year. I agree with him, and I really believe this is going to be one of the most hated gatherings ever. Lots of people in this market, including some well-known names, have all of a sudden become bearish when it's clear from looking at the charts that the structure is bullish. I really don't get how anyone could become negative right now. The facts are what we care about, right? Over the last few days and weeks, we've been looking at Bitcoin's structure and saying, look, this thing is in bullish structure. We should have a lot of confidence. We can see that big push happening right now. Oh, and Tom Lee also thinks the market will go up a lot. Now here's the deal. If stock prices keep going up, crypto prices should do the same. Also, check this out. He said on CNBC that Bitcoin will go through a huge change in the next 3 months. There will be a supply shock. It happened on October 2nd. The second is sensitive to changes in money liquidity. World central banks are loosening up. That's Bitcoin and Ethereum, which are strong at this time of year. In the next 3 months, I think they might do something really big. Huge, really. No doubt about it, I agree with him. Bitcoin has already made that huge move, but I think it will keep going up, especially since the supply shock is getting stronger. Let's talk about Ethereum now, since Tom Lee also brought it up. I'm also going to show you a movie clip soon. But first, I need to talk about why it's so important for Ethereum to reach a new all-time high. Let's go back to January 2021. This is when Ethereum finally hit a new all-time high on the longer-term price chart. We're talking about the view for 1 month. After that, altcoins went through the roof the following month. Check out the chart for all three. It's February 2021.